Alright kids, so today we're working on our spelling. Who enjoys learning how to spell new words? Excellent. Who can tell me why it's important for us to learn how to spell new words? Emma?
Helps us with reading.
Helps us with our reading. Excellent. Why else is it important for us to learn how to spell new words? Nick?
So we can improve our writing.
Our writing, excellent. Anything else? Nick?
So we can use new words.
Yep, so we can use new words when we're talking and we're writing. Anything else? We learn new word families. We also learn how to connect letters and sounds. Excellent. So up here we've got our list of what we think are important reasons for us to learn how to spell. So what we're going to do now in our lesson is learn a new strategy that will help us learn how to spell our words. As you know, we all have our spelling list that we're all working through, so this strategy will help us with that. So we call this strategy the look, say, cover, write, check strategy. It's in 5 parts, and the first one being we look at the word and we read it. So when we look at the word, we look for how many parts there are there any tricky bits, can we find any spelling patterns. Once we've done this, we're going to say the word out loud. We can say it to ourselves, we break the word into syllables, we can see how many parts there are, and we can listen to the sounds we make when we say the word. Third stage in our process is to cover up the word. And when we cover up the word, we're going to visualize it in our heads. Okay? Next, we write the word down. Keeping the word covered, we're going to write it down, doing our best to remember what we saw in our head, still thinking about the sounds. And lastly, we're going to check how we went. Going through it letter by letter, checking to see if we spelt our word correctly, and if not, we make sure we correct our spelling word. So I'm going to give a small example. My word is going to be jump. Alright, so to begin with, I look at the word, I read it in my mind. Next, I'm going to say it out loud. Jump. I have a think, how many syllables? It's just one syllable in the word jump. There's no real tricky bits in this word. So next I'm going to cover up my word, and underneath I'm going to write it. Doing my best to remember what I saw in my mind and the sounds I said. I then uncover my word and I check. J, correct? Tick. U, tick. M and M, tick. P and P. Tick. So I give myself a big tick for spelling that one correctly. Who would like to come up the front and have a go at going through the look, say, cover, write, check strategy? Emma, do you want to come up? I'm going to write your word at the top. Can you read that one for me?
Show.
Excellent. So we've read the word. You want to say it out loud?
Show.
How many syllables is in this word?
1.
Excellent. We just have one syllable. So now, instead of covering up, I'm just going to have you face the rest of the class. We're not going to look at it. I don't want anyone else giving any hints to Emma. We're going to let her do it. Okay? when you're ready, I just want you to spell it out nice and slowly for me, and I'll write it down, and then we'll check it at the end.
S-H-O-W.
Excellent. So we'll turn around and we'll have a look. S and S, give ourselves a tick. H and H, another tick. O, O, tick. W, W, tick. So we see we've got all 4 letters correct. Give ourselves a tick. We spelled that word correctly. Thank you, Emma. Grab a seat. My next word is going to be rainbow. This one's a little bit trickier. Would anyone like to come up and give themselves this challenge?
Oh yes, Mr. G.
Charlie, come on up. Alright, so say the word out loud as many times as you need.
Rainbow, 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 rainbow.
Excellent. How many syllables do we have in this word?
Rainbow. 2.
Correct, 2 syllables in this one. Alright, so again you're going to face the class. Class. Taking your time, you're going to spell out this word and I'm going to write it on the board. So continue to picture it in your mind when you're ready.
R-A-I-N-B-O-E.
Alright, now we're going to have a look and compare our 2 words. So let's go through it. R and R, excellent. We give ourselves a tick. A and A, give ourselves a tick. I and I. N, N. B, B. O, O. W, E. Alright, so we've made a misspelling there. That's okay. When we spell it incorrectly, we just rewrite it underneath. Making sure this time we spell it correctly. Thank you, Charlie. You can grab a seat.
Thanks, sir.
Excellent. So we make sure that we can take as long as we want when we go through our 5-step strategy, and we look very carefully when comparing our words. And again, when we make a mistake, a little cross, and then we rewrite the word correctly underneath. So today we've gone through why we believe spelling is important and why we need to continue to learn how to spell. And then we've also learned our look, say, cover, write, check strategy, our 5-step strategy, where again we look at the word, we read it in our head, look for tricky bits, any spelling patterns, we say it out loud, we break it into syllables, we listen to the sounds we make when we say our word, we then cover it up, and we take our time to visualize our word in our head. We see if we can put it all together in our mind, and we still concentrating on the sounds we make. We then write it out on our paper. We write out our word, and again, finally we check to see if we've spelled it correctly, making sure we go through it 1 letter at a time, very carefully. And again, if we make any mistakes, we just write it underneath. Excellent.